US officials have suggested the plane crash that killed the head of the Russian mercenary group Wagner, Yevgeny Prigozhin, was intentionally caused by an explosion. Russian President Vladimir Putin has broken his silence on the incident by sending his condolences to the families of those killed.
As investigators continued to pick through the wreckage on the hunt apparently for just what brought this plane down, the bodies of the 10 who died were brought to the local morgue for identification. Russia has already said who was on board: Wagner's top command Yevgeny Prigozhin, his deputy Dmitry Utkin, the security chief of Wagner too, all killed in one clean sweep. Utkin's far-right tattoos, his fondness for Hitler's favourite musician, the reason Wagner was called what it was, perhaps a help in the ID process. At a meeting at the Kremlin 24 hours after the crash, President Putin had this to say.
I want to express sincere condolences to the families of all those who died. It is always a tragedy. Indeed, if they were there, and according to the initial information, Wagner company employees were on board. I want to note that those people made a significant contribution to our common cause of fighting the Nazi regime in Ukraine. We remember this, we know this, and we will not forget this.
In St. Petersburg, outside what was once the Wagner HQ, a makeshift memorial scattered with red carnations and a steady stream of mourners. He was a dangerous, unpredictable man who crystallized the violent, destructive course that Russia was set on, meeting a violent but perhaps predictable death. He had many enemies here, but he also has many who mourn him. He was everything to us. Everyone was waiting to hear what Uncle Zhenya would say, this man told a local journalist. When I asked him, though, how he felt, he wouldn't comment. That was to our TV, he said. I don't want to talk to you. This woman, Tatiana, a self-declared Stalin fan, was inconsolable. This was my last hope for some change in the future, she says. And now I have none. Oligarchy, and that's it. I asked this man who he thought was behind it. Somebody wants to set up Putin. It's obvious, he says. That's as may be, but if one thing is clear, Russia without Yevgeny Prigozhin certainly makes things simpler for the Kremlin. There's been a lot of talk about Putin seeming weak after this rebellion. Where do you think we are now?
Putin has certainly reinforced his position. All of those questions about the weakness of Putin, the supposed weakness that came about as a result of him not swiftly murdering Prigozhin, have now been dispelled. And as a result, he should be on a much firmer footing, because there isn't now that open question about whether you can actually challenge him.
Circulating now on social media, an old video from February. It's Prigozhin with Utkin. Death is not the end, just the beginning of something else, Utkin says off camera. Yes, Prigozhin replies. We will all go to hell, but in hell we will be the best.